War with Iran might be averted for now, but it's not for a lack of trying by corporate media. My God, it just is like Iraq all over again, isn't it? I mean, who are these people? I remember Wolf Blitzer when the big lie about Iraq was told. It wasn't just Wolf Blitzer, it was Joe Scarborough, it was virtually everybody on MSNBC, everybody on CNN trying to drum up a war. So here we got Melber, who used to be a fairly credible journalist. I mean, we actually did some work with him early on. He is bought just like Rachel Maddow has bought into this war machine. And it's like here are these liberals, these so-called liberals, trying to churn up a war because CNN is going to die without a war. MSNBC, their numbers keep dropping without a war. But you get a war there, things get better, right? Advertisers come in with the big weapons manufacturers. They come in with their money. People tune in because they're scared as hell that they're going to get bombed. That's the only thing that's going to save CNN.
Right. You know, it would be interesting. I know still waiting on the numbers at this point, but I would love to see what CNN's ratings were during that time between the death of Soleimani and then the alleged, kind of ceasefire, everything dies off. Because I guarantee you CNN went through the roof during that particular time. And as you pointed out, Wolf Blitzer, in the lead up to Iraq, had the big map on the floor. He was walking around showing bases here. This is a potential line of attack. They did the exact same thing. I believe it was last Monday.
Yes.
With Iran.
Yes.
Wolf Blitzer back out there. He had the big map of Iran on the floor, and he's walking around that.
Okay, how about this? This is what's really driving me crazy. MSNBC is parading every weapons whore they can through the studio. If they're a war pig, they're at MSNBC or they're at CNN. Ari Melber has 4 of them coming through. Every one of the people that he has coming through his show are directly working for the weapons industry. Not one time does he mention or ask the question, gee, what's your contact with the weapons industry? The guy wants a war. So they'll watch more Ari Melber. So they'll watch more, I guess Rachel Maddow. So Joe Scarborough's show will have something to talk about besides Trump. And so now all of a sudden, this whole thing is getting out of control because of the media. I mean, they want a war. And there's no question why they want the war. It's a money issue. And if you don't think Phil Griffin or Luck with MSNBC, if you don't think they want a war because they make more money with war, you're kidding yourself. CNN, they won't live without a war.
Oh, absolutely. All of these, corporate media networks are watching the ratings go down. Fox, obviously the exception, but the rest of them, they don't have anything to stand on. They don't really have a brand. They don't really have an identity. All they know is that war is good for ratings, war is good for advertising. So if we can sell this just like we did in 2001 and 2002, we can be back on top. Even if it's only for a year, even if it means thousands of U.S. troops die, we can be back on top, and that means more money for everybody.
How does Ari Melber bring in guests like McAfee? We all know what the guy is. He's nothing but a war pimp. He is a war pig. Karl Rove, Ari Fleischer, all of these people who got us involved in Iraq. Melber knows exactly who they are. Rachel Maddow knows who they are. How do you put them on the show and say, oh, by the way, let me at least disclose to the viewers that McAfee, Melber, that these folks have a direct interest in war? How do you not at least do that? They didn't do that with Ari Fleischer, who was, my God, look at what he did with Iraq. He was willing to go on, as a press secretary for Bush, willing to go on this air every single day and lie like hell to get us involved in a war. And now you got the the Melbers and virtually everybody on CNN saying, yeah, we need a good war.
Well, and it's ridiculous, too, because even if you assume for a second, suppose none of these people even had ties to the weapons industry, if they didn't have that, they still have no credibility because these are the same folks. And Michael Chertoff's in there as well. Ari Melber had him on. These are the same people that lied us into Iraq.
Did he disclose?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So not only are they tied financially to the weapons industry that stands to make a lot of money off this, they also have zero credibility. Yeah. They have proven themselves repeatedly to lie the United States into war, and we still welcome them with open arms.
And corporate media says, oh, my God, people are cutting the cable. Why are they going to social media? Harry Melber, this is the problem. That's why the credibility issue with modern corporate media is in the can. Farron Cousins, thank you for joining me. We're going to be doing a lot more of this story, I can tell you.
Thank you.